Joe. Another one, huh? In or out?
Out. Rip Smith, Institute of Public Opinion, going out of business.
Rip Smith. 18th floor, inside office, tall man, brown shoes, dark polish, 3 times a week, 25-cent tip. Too bad. Nice man.
No wonder he's going out of business, getting opinions from the public. That's a screwy way to make a living.
Why, there's nothing screwy about it. Lots of guys clean up on it. Look at Gallup. You know, big corporations pay a lot of money to find out what you and I think.
They do?
Sure. Now, you take this cigar, for instance. People stop buying it, sales fall off. Manufacturer wants to know why.
I can tell them why in one word.
Say, George, is it true about Rip Smith?
Yes, I just saw them moving the furniture out. Isn't that swell? Did you hear the news about Rip? Mac canceled his contract.
Good morning, George.
I just passed his office. They're moving the furniture out.
We know all about it. He talked to me about jobs for some of his people.
His people? Well, what about himself? Let's grab him before Gallup ties him up.
We've been discussing it for an hour.
Well, what is there to discuss?
Talk to Henry. He thinks we'd be foolish.
Why, Henry, that's the hottest piece of manpower in the...
Yes, I know. Brilliant. But too much of a dreamer to suit me. Saw him the other day, and to hear him talk, we're all idiots. Our method of polling public opinion is apparently ridiculous. Thinks we're wasting money questioning people all over the country. He's going to find some miraculous shortcut, do polls at 1/10 of the cost.
Well, maybe he can.
Told me he's working on a new scheme, calls it his mathematical miracle. How to question 50 or 100 people, perhaps in one town, and find out exactly how the whole country's thinking.
If it ever could be done, there'd be a fortune in it.
If. Look at him, forced out of business.
Come now, Henry. You know that's because he tried to operate on the shoestring.
Poppycock.
What makes you think he'll come with us, Charlie? You know Rip, burning with ambition. He's determined to go it alone.
We'll get him, don't worry. In his present condition, he's a cinch. Yes, sir.
Like I was saying to my wife, sometimes asking too many questions don't pay off.
And so, when I got your letter, I tested public opinion in my hometown on the subject you suggested. And here's the result. In favor, 69.1. Not in favor, 22.6. Don't knows, 8.3.
We just laid one egg. What are you hatching now? What's that bunch of letters about?
Who's that one from, Miss Twiddle?
Oh, are you awake? It's from Frederick Hoopendecker. He's the school teacher. Shall I go on?
Sergeant Hoopendecker. What a man. He could handle a bazooka like a toy pistol.
Shall I go on?
Good grief, getting a bunch of ex-dough feet to canvass their hometowns. What for?
Well, I'm still hunting for that shortcut, Ike. Mathematical miracle.
My goodness, shall I go on?
No. I just thought I had an idea. Just file that right with the rest of them, Mr. Twiddle. Right in there.
Everybody get paid off?
Uh-huh.
Good.
Why don't you give up, Rip? Stop chasing rainbows. Go to work for somebody.
Yeah, I could put a bowling alley in here, you know.
A lot of good guys got kicked around when they were kids. They're not out to capture the world.
Dancing academy, maybe.
May I? Oh, stop it, Rip. You've hit bottom. This is no time to...
It's good for the soul.
What do you think you're doing?
Why, it's Mr. Stringer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Charlie.
I've got a proposition to make to you, Rip. I think there might be an opening in our outfit for you. If you'll accept a reasonable salary against, say, 10% of the profits, I'm pretty sure I can get the boys to agree. You can take Ike along with you. And you're Mr. what's his name?
Twiddle.
Yeah, Twiddle.
Oh, thanks, Charlie. I'll think about it.
Think about it. Oh, don't be a fool, Rip. You're in no position to be fussy. You and your mathematical miracles. Look at the job you just finished for Mac. No wonder he canceled your contract. We released our figures today on the same subject. Look at it. You weren't even close. You can't do polls without national coverage, Rip. And that takes money. A lot of money. Make up your mind there are no shortcuts. What are you grinning about?
Charlie, I love you. With all my heart, I love you. Charlie, but the answer's no. Yep, it's no. I'll see you around. Come here. Hey, give me that. Get off that desk. Where hit you? Lock that door. Now, if I can just find this letter. No. There it is. This might be it, Ike. This might be it. Shortcut I've been searching for. Now, look. Look at Hoopendecker's letter. Look at Stringer's figures. Stringer canvassed thousands of people all over the country. Hoopendecker canvassed a handful in a little small town. One little town. Look at the results. Look at that. 69.1, 69. That's just the same. Identical. I tell you, Ike, this might be it. Now, listen. Think of this. One small town that thinks exactly the way the nation does.
You're talking about utopia.
Utopia. Maybe we'll find out right now. Mr. Twiddle, get me the almanac. Oh, wait, I'll get it myself. Call up the Census Bureau, Ike, and get Hoopendecker on the phone. No, never mind about that. I can get the national figures out of the almanac.
Yeah.
Now, give me the dope on Grandview.
Election?
How about the sex
no,
ratio?
I want the figures.
How many males and females?
Sure.
All right?
Right. Now, prohibition.
All right. Above 40
what
and
was
under.
the last time?
I got it.
Okay.
Democrats?
Yeah, that
Right.
Wilson Hughes election.
Republicans?
I knew it. I knew that someplace, somewhere, there was a town like this. Even the population breaks down right. Just like the country. Look, the same percentage of males, females, farmers, labor, Democrats, Republicans, everything.
Hello? Yeah, I'm still here. Now, look, here's the setup. We're going to have to poll the same people over and over again. This thing's liable to be good for years, you know. But sooner or later, they're going to get self-conscious. That's fatal. The people in that town can't know what we're doing there. So we got to have a cover. Here it is. We're 3 insurance salesmen from Hartford.
Insurance? Oh, my goodness. To talk to a man about when he's going to die. Oh.
Hello? Yeah, that's what I said, Mac. Yeah, and I can deliver, too. Now, listen. Now, Stringer's been doing a poll for you on progressive education in the public schools. He's been on it for months. All right, now, suppose I start right now and I finish ahead of him. What would you say to that? I tell you, it is possible. What? Well, I'll come within 1%. That's how close. Oh, no. I'm not going to tell you how I do it. No other polling outfit's going to find out about this. I'm going to make $1 million on this. What? Yeah. Now, let me understand this. You put me on trial, huh? If this thing goes over, you renew my contract, right? That's all I want to know. Okay, Mac. Thanks. Grandview, you good old mathematical miracle. Here we come. Thank you, Grandview. Gee, you know, the moment Columbus first sighted land must have been just like this.
Would you mind moving, please, so we can get it out?
Moody's Mansion House. Bus for Moody's Mansion House. Leaving right away.
Moody's Mansion House.
Oh, that's the name of the hotel, mister.
That's a wonderful name. Perfect name for the hotel.
Well, maybe it is and maybe it ain't. What I want to know is, you want to go there?
Yeah. And you see that little fellow over there? Surrounded by all those bags. Looks like he just popped out of Dickens. Will you tell him to check in for us, will you? And tell him we're going for a walk, huh?
Yes, sir.
Do that for me. Moody's Mansion House. Isn't that wonderful? Moody's Mansion House. Ike, you know, it's just wonderful to be around a town that you know just like you know an old family album. Look at that fellow over there. I know all about him. He's married, he has 1.7 children. Out of his income, he spends 11.2 for rent, 23.5 for food, 17.2 for clothing. And
Poor guy, he's just a series of fractions. He ought to stop acting like a human being.
Glad to see you again.
Well, glad to see you.
How have you been?
Fine. How have you been?
Can't complain. You're looking well.
Oh, thanks. You seem very fit yourself.
Not bad for an old man.
How have you been?
Can't complain. And you?
Fine.
Well, glad to have seen you again.
I'm very glad to have seen you. Who's that?
Who's that man?
I don't know. Sure you don't know him?
No, I don't know.
If he knows who you are, we're sunk.
Yeah. Oh, you're just being friendly, don't you think? Hey, where can I find Professor Hoopendecker?
I don't know. He ain't down here.
He's not, huh? Wise guy.
Thanks.
What a shoot. Did you see that? Gee, my knee. Come on. It all went from there to there. So who years? Well, that was really sad.
Hamnet, head, hut! Hit the dirt! Rip Smith! Good old Sergeant Hoopendecker. Hi, you dirty face.
Mon capitaine, je vous aime.
You rat. It took me years to build up dignity. Sorry I couldn't meet you at the train. We're having exams. How's it going? The survey I did was good, huh?
Right on the nose for the whole nation.
You don't say. But what about this insurance thing? You're taking an awful chance, aren't you?
Well, we're going to sell some insurance if we have to.
Is that him, Mr. Hoopendecker?
Oh, yeah, sure. That's him. That's he, all right.
Jeepers. Rip Smith. That's plush. Mr. Hoopendecker said you were coming.
He did, huh?
We've been reading all about you in the basketball guide.
I'm coaching him. That's part of the training. He's my assistant. Mascot of the team.
Hi.
Hi, Rip.
Hey, what's going on down there? That's a nickel a look.
Gosh, there's the 9 o'clock bell. Come on, boys. Move along. Move along.
Bye, Rip.
Have you seen anybody yet?
No, I've just been walking around. I'm going over to see the mayor now.
Fine. Meet me after school at the town meeting hall. I'll introduce you to folks.
Okay. So long, dirty face. How do you do?
Very ideal. Imagine a grown man doing such a thing. No, I can't. Wait right here, please.
Thank you.
Where'd you disappear to?
Dropped in on my old pal, Hoopendecker. What's this? What goes on here?
His Honor the Mayor's in conference.
Boy, what a town. You know, all we have to do is put the decimal points in the right place and we're home.
Yeah. Let's pray these good people stay average. That they don't change.
Haven't changed in 50 years. Forget it.
Yes, these changes will make this town. The park and the playground will be placed right here. The hospital and the nursery here. The library here and the high school here.
As a mayor, naturally, I'm neutral, a servant of the people, but I still insist this plan's preposterous. Isn't it, Richard? Isn't it preposterous?
I'm a little tired of hearing about it. She's been coming before this council for years. It's like a filibuster. There ought to be a whatchamacallit. Law against such.
No, Lou, this is a free country. The girl has a perfect right to speak her piece.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Nickleby. And I shall continue to exercise that right at every council meeting until I drill it into your thick skulls that Grandview needs this new civic center. Oh, it's quite all right, Mr. Mayor. You're excused.
Yes, excuse me, of course.
Now? What is it? What is it? You said it was important.
Oh, yes, sir. My name's Lawrence Smith. This is my associate, Mr. Sloan. We just arrived in town, and we thought perhaps that you could help us out.
Just a moment. Just a moment. Notes for visitor's diary. At 9:46, a gentleman by the name of Lawrence Smith came in. Visitors are always welcome, I said. What can I do for you? Visitors are always welcome, Mr. Smith. What can I do for you? Well, speak up, young man. Speak up.
Well, as a matter of fact, we want to open an insurance office. We thought perhaps you could recommend a real estate agent.
Mr. Smith requested that I recommend a real estate agent. You place me in a difficult position, I said. The mayor cannot show partiality. Just a moment. I'll get Lou Dickens out here. Best real estate man in town. Rest of them ain't worth a hoot and a holler.
What about the hoses? The upkeep. That means more whatchamacallit, don't it? Taxes.
Excuse me. Now, Dick, why not approve the plan in principle and let the voters decide?
It seems to me, Van Moody, that Mr. Nickleby's been very unselfish about this. As the leading contractor in town, he'd naturally benefit, yet...
We simply can't afford anything so ambitious.
Did it ever occur to you, Richard Nickleby, that social improvements would attract new people, new industry, new wealth, so that we could afford it?
Glad to be of, service.
Wow. Like the fellow says, thank you.
Always wanting changes. Change this, change that. How big a town do you want?
Well, of course I want changes. About time we got out of our swaddling clothes and grew up and made it a decent place to live in.
Changes.
I had to travel.
There goes your mathematical
No
miracle.
reason why my son can't do the same. When it comes to community planning, I'll trust Mr. Nickleby.
You talk as if it was the back bumper of the universe. This is a very fine community.
Of course it is. It's a beautiful community. I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to butt in like this.
That's all right, young fella. Come in. Come in. What do you think of Grandview, young man? Huh? What do you think of it?
Think of it. Think of it. I've been searching for a town like this for years.
Oh, you like it, do you? Speak up, young man.
What, you know, when I got off that train this morning, I said to myself, this is it. I've just walked through your town, folks. With its shade trees and its lovely parks. I stood before your impressive buildings, mellowed with age, and I said to myself, here is a sturdy challenge to the evils of the modern era. I watched your people on the street. I felt their vitality and their sense of security.
All in less than 1 hour.
Hmm? Your children are happy. Happy. You can see it in their dear little faces and hear it in their wholesome talk. Oh, there's beauty here. It's almost indescribable. You're used to it. You're all a part of it. You take it for granted. But to me, it's a hope and a dream of a lifetime. And I too want to become a part of it. Please don't change it. Well, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to intrude.
He's right. Absolutely right.
That makes me, proud.
Now, that's the kind of young man this town needs.
I move we adjourn and forget all this silly nonsense about high school.
Second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.
It took a stranger to pound some sense into us.
I hope this is the last time we hear about this civic center.
You fascinate me.
I nearly fell for that silly scheme of Mary's. Get to know him better.
Ed, it's Schwartz. I want you to meet my friend Lawrence Smith.
How do you do,
Schwartz?
sir? How do you do?
Mel Handler.
Handler, how do you do?
Pleased to know you.
Hey, fellas, I want you to meet my friend Lawrence Smith. Insurance.
Welcome to Grandview. Any friend of Mr. Hoopendecker is always welcome here.
Oh, thank you very much, gentlemen.
Everything takes place here. Political rallies, concerts, dances.
Hey, there it is. Look at it. Great American institution, the pot-bellied stove.
That one's been in the same spot for over 100 years.
That's so.
Folks just wouldn't throw it away. Sit around that stove and you'll find out what Grandview's thinking.
Find out what the country's thinking, too.
Yeah. Now, if you want to find out where our senators hide.
Hmm?
Yep, I'm right. Senator Wilton, I want you to meet my friend Lawrence Smith.
Glad to see you.
Glad to see you.
Oh, yes.
Well, this is Senator Wilton. You're the United States Senator Wilton. Well, of course. No wonder your face was familiar.
Senator was brought up here in Grandview.
Is that
Comes back 2 or 3 times a year just to visit.
Pressure in Washington gets pretty strong sometimes. Easy to lose your perspective. Issues become very simple in this room.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Say, there's something in the local paper about you.
Oh, I have it here, Senator.
Huh? Oh, thanks. They don't seem to like you. They're under
Really?
town tidbits.
What, right here?
Uh-huh.
The incident at the council meeting as reported to this paper indicates a complete lack of grace. Well, this is his first day in town, yet Mr. Smith managed to poke his unwelcome proboscis into local affairs. Oh, that's pretty cute, isn't it? If you're really here to sell insurance, Mr. Smith, you would do well to start building goodwill and confidence. Ah, where's the slaughterhouse that turns this thing out?
Right down the street. I'll go with you.
Never mind. I'll handle it myself. Excuse me, will you, Senator?
Take it easy, Smith. They're a tough crew when they want to be.
Yeah, well, I can be tough myself, you know. Where's the editor? I want to see the editor of this imitation newspaper.
Please say that again.
I want to know what's the...
No. The same words, in the same way. You can bang the counter if you wish. Please.
Where's the editor? I want to see the editor of this imitation newspaper.
Thank you.
What is this? What's this all about?
Your voice. It's the spitting image of his.
Never heard the likes of it.
No, sir, never did.
Spitting image of who?
He used to say the same thing. And bang on the counter, too.
Every morning when he came in.
That was his little joke.
Whose joke? Who's he?
Lou Peterman.
Her husband.
He's the editor.
The editor. Okay, that's the fellow I want to see. Where's he?
Lou got a little tired about 10 years ago. Almost 11 now, eh?
Yep, just about.
Here, I got my new uppers. Went out on the porch to take a bit of a nap and...
Guess he was more tired than he thought.
Never set eyes on such a wonderful funeral.
Everybody in town came.
And from out of town, too. And Lem Simpson was a pallbearer. Stayed sober. All day.
Just out of respect.
Yes, sir, your voice is the spitting image.
Well, young man, what is it? You came in to make a complaint, I believe.
Well, that's the story about me. Have you seen it?
Yes.
What's the idea?
Are the facts incorrect?
No, but...
Is your name spelled wrong?
Well, no, but
Well, then what's your complaint?
Well, it's snide. That's what it is. Snide. Taking advantage of an innocent stranger. What kind of hospitality is that, anyway? Those nasty, weaselly little digs. No decent newspaper.
Young man, if you want to attack the policy of this newspaper, write us a letter. We'll be glad to print it. Meantime, you can do your complaining to the acting editor who wrote the story.
Okay, I'll talk to the acting. I'll talk to the acting editor.
I've got it. A 3-position signal.
Ouch, I'm a gouch.
Jiggle it. Try jiggling it.
Yeah, sometimes they start when you jiggle them.
See what I tell you?
Nice?
Very nice.
Lovely. Beautiful.
Pass me Panther. Come on, sweetie. You wish to see me?
Oh, yes, miss. I just want to thank you for that very nice story you wrote about me.
I thought you came in to complain.
Me? Not at all. Not at all. I believe in what the fella says. Just one thing worse than being talked about, and that's not being talked about
at all.
Hmm?
In that case, you won't mind the second story I'm writing about you.
Not at all. Not at all.
No use looking over my shoulder. This isn't it.
Well, as a matter of fact, I was just admiring how your hair sweeps up from your neck.
My. Real Sharpie.
Hey, now, look. Look here. Look at this story you wrote about me. Now, look, it says here... Quote, if you're really here to sell insurance, Mr. Smith, you do well to, and so on, so on, so on. So why that? Why, that creates suspicion.
Mr. Smith, Grandview is already overcrowded with insurance agents, most of them starving. Now, a clever man like you, knowing conditions, would stay away. Simple.
A clever man like me doesn't mind competition. He has ideas. He sees insurance as a sort of a long-range community service. He doesn't care if he never sells a policy for 6 months or a year. Now, wouldn't you like to sort of write a little retraction of that? You know, say you were a little hasty on further examination. This fellow Smith's a very charming fellow. Wouldn't you like to do that? No, I guess you wouldn't.
Getting sticky in here. I think I'll go get a soda. You give Panther her milk.
Hey, sis, I got a great scoop for you. Who do you think's in town? I met him, too. Rip Smith. Boy, he was over at school and...
Hi, Todd.
Oh, hello, Mr. Smith.
Hi. How are you?
We were just going over to the hotel to see you.
Oh.
The committee, that is.
Oh, yeah.
We spoke to Mr. Hoopendecker, and he said it was all right. He said you're the greatest guy in the world.
Oh, well, I think he exaggerates a little.
He said if we ask you, you'd do it in a minute.
Do what, Bob?
Why, coach the basketball team, of course. Would you, Mr. Smith?
Well, I'll leave you two to discuss business.
Would you, Mr. Smith?
Well, yeah, sure, son. We'll talk it over. I want to straighten out some things with your sister first.
Hey, make that two, will you?
I ordered a headache powder.
Just what I need. Oh, no, don't go. You know, I expect to be around here for quite a spell. You have to get used to me.
Perhaps you're right. I've gotten used to some other weird goblins in this town.
Goblins, huh? Let me see, how's that go? Well, you'd better mind your parents and your teachers fond and dear, and cherish them that loves you. Dry the orphan's tear. Help the poor and needy ones that's clustered all about, or the goblins will get you if you don't watch out. That's from a poem called The Goblins Will Get You If You Don't Watch Out.
That's from a poem called Little Orphan Annie.
By golly, that's right. Oh, headache powder. Chocolate flavor. Say, tell me about this new civic center of yours.
Why?
Well, I'm just interested.
After the way you shot your great big mouth off this morning?
Wasn't that stupid, not knowing anything about it either.
Yes.
Hope it didn't do any harm.
Only set progress back a few years, that's all.
Oh. It did? I'm sorry. Maybe I can make up for it, you know, help in some way. Come on, tell me.
Tell me about it.
Why did you do it?
What?
Butt into the meeting.
Well, I was just busting with good spirits, that's all. The town looked perfect to me. I couldn't imagine anybody wanted to change it.
Sure there wasn't some other reason?
Hmm? If it was, it escaped me at the moment.
Hey, some of the fellas have got to go home, and we thought maybe, well, for a starter, we figured you could explain the back pass dilemma. It says here that Rip Smith used it to perfection.
Does, huh?
The what dilemma?
Quiet, please. This is technical talk. Oh, sure, I can show you. It's a very simple thing. Just get up around. Anybody got a pencil? There we are. Get up around here now. Let's see. Oh, we're on the attacking team. See, I have the ball. Here I am right there. There's my guard. Here you are, right here, and there's your guard over there. All right. I pass to you and move in your direction. My guard naturally crosses to cover me. And then I suddenly fall in behind you like that, see? And then that brings the two guards close together. You back pass to me and cut around like that. And your guard crosses at you and bumps into his own man. I feed you a loop pass, you got an easy layup. See? Well, look, there's nothing to it. Here, give me the ball there. I'll demonstrate, huh? It's the best part of it. Here, now, you get right there. You be his guard. You be my guard. Now, get on. Howdy. Follow me, man. Right out here. Now, we use that tree for a basket. Now, come on over here and we'll line up for an offensive spread right here. You stand right there. You be his guard, see? Yeah, you be his guard, right? Now, remember what I told you. Here, you have the ball. Now, you remember pass, follow the pass, back pass, loop pass, boomeroo. Got it? Now, you check on this. See, there's no mistakes. All right.
Over here, Shorty. Come on, pass it. Pass it. Look out, Bob. Let me have it. Let me have it.
Well, that wasn't bad, all but the boomeroo. Okay, now, let's try some baskets. Uh-oh. Looks like somebody's gonna have to climb a tree. Come on, you, Oh, Shorty, come here. Ollie up! Ollie up! You reach it?
It's easy, Ike. You start gabbing about insurance, and then very gradually and cleverly, you just sort of sneak up on your subject, see?
Talk to a man about his life expectancy, but find out what he thinks of progressive education.
Right. Here we go. Here we go.
Well, here it is. What'd I tell you? Isn't this beautiful? Look, you can see the whole town from here.
Well, if I ever get to New York, I'll show you the sights.
I brought the kids up here yesterday. It's good for their legs, you know?
Oh, you may not know, but I don't expect to make the basketball team.
Oh, don't be such an old whiny worm.
A what?
Whiny worm. Always whining about something. Just relax. Just come face to face with sheer beauty, just let go. Whose idea was it? Yours?
What?
The plan, you know, the civic center.
Oh, well, that was a legacy from my father. He worked on it for a lot of years. Never could put it over.
But you will, won't you?
You bet. Of course, you set me back a bit. But I'll put it over. It's the only thing my father left when he died. It was my one possession, he said. A worthwhile job to do, it's yours. Consider yourself rich.
I thought he left you the newspaper.
Oh, no, we just work there. Ben Moody owns it.
Oh, Moody's Mansion House. Well, you call yourself acting editor. Who's the editor, Mr. Moody?
No, Papa. There can only be one editor for that paper. He still runs it, sort of.
I like that.
You sound like him. Sometimes you even look like him. But you're not like him at all. Papa wasn't so desperate. What are you desperate for? Money? Power?
Are you reading the bumps in my head?
The air becomes charged with electricity around desperate men. I always feel it when I'm near Nickleby. I feel it now. Strong.
Having fun?
Mm-hmm. Do you mind?
No. Hey, what is that? What's that? Let me see it.
MT-14 rheostat. Controls the speed of that little train you saw in the window. Was your childhood terribly ugly?
You know that little model train you have, it's a very professional job. Girl mechanic.
Was it?
Well, it's cloistered, Swiss governess, Lord Fauntleroy suits, that type of thing.
There's only one thing that doesn't add up. The electric currents and selling insurance in Grandview.
Well, maybe you need a new crystal ball.
My old one's all right. Want to know what I see in it? Before you're through, you'll run for mayor of this town. And the awful part of it is I'll probably vote for you.
People on excursion boats would throw coins, and the kids would dive for them. It meant food for the family. He wants security, sure, and his fist.
Yes, of course.
Hey, sis, you gonna watch us practice?
No, darling, I have a meeting of the dance committee.
So long. Bye.
What else, Hope?
That's all I know. Say, I've got to get home. I've got a lot of examination papers to mark. Night, Mary. Thanks for dinner.
Ladies' meeting over yet, Mr. Quincy?
Just about. Yep. Just about.
Oh, good night, Mary.
Good night.
It was wonderful. Good night.
Good night. Well, the big decision's been made. The basketball dance will be held a week from Saturday night at the town meeting hall.
At the town meeting?
There you are.
That's sure plush. That's the night we play the Waverly game. We'll pin their ears back.
Good night.
So long, Rip.
Get some sleep, huh?
Hi.
Hi. How'd it go tonight?
Good. What, did you go to school here?
Mm-hmm.
These are, graduation pictures, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'll be darned, look there. That's wonderful. Wait, you here?
Yeah?
Oh, no, wait a minute. Don't show me. There. There you are. I knew you right off.
Oh, go on. I showed you.
No, you didn't. I picked it up myself. It's simple. You got the same this, you know? Same firecracker eyes. You were pretty then, too, huh?
Think so?
Yeah. Very pretty.
Well, that's Helen Kleinspiegel. It's me over here.
Wise guy, huh? Hey, that's amazing. That grew up to be you, hmm? What an age we're living in. Yeah, there's something about the smell of a classroom that always kind of gets me. Huh? Now, you went to school here, huh? Well, how do you know? In this very classroom, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be darned. Where'd you sit?
Over there.
On the front row? Oh, you had to stay awake all the time. You know, I always had trouble with these legs of mine. Always stuck out in the aisle like this. People kept tripping over them. As a matter of fact, one day the teacher was walking down the aisle and she had to find kerplunk.
Uh-oh.
She accused me of doing it deliberately, too.
You didn't, of course.
Not deliberately. I might have helped a little. And you sat there, huh?
Mm-hmm. This seat had an awful squeak. Draw it. Yep. This is where I sat.
Have any pigtails?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody special to pull them?
Bertie, Senator Wilton's son. He was a terror. And they moved to Washington, and I was heartbroken.
Oh, you were? Well, for how long?
Oh, ages. Almost a week. Oh, look. Hiawatha. By the shores of Gitche-Gumee, by the... Always thought it was Gitche-Gooey.
Well, it is gooey. Me, I was always exclusively a charge of the Light Brigade fella.
Oh, I loved
Charge
Hiawatha.
of the Light Brigade. Half a league, half a league, half a
By
league.
the shores of Gitche-Gumee,
All in the valley
by
of
the shining
death
big sea
rode the
waters, stood
600.
the wigwam of Nokomis, daughter.
Forward, the Light Brigade!
Dark behind.
Charge for the guns, he said. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Forward, the Light Brigade! Was there a man dismayed? Not though the soldier knew someone had blundered. Theirs not to make reply. Theirs not to reason why. Theirs was to do or die. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Cannon to the right of them, cannon to the left of them, cannon in front of them. Volleyed and thundered. Stormed at by shot and shell. Bravely they rode, but well, into the jaws of death. Into the mouth of hell.
Why, my little owlet.
Rode the 600, flashed all their sabers bare, flashed as they turned in air, sabering the gunners there, charging an army while all the world wondered. Plunged in the battery smoke, right through the line they broke. Cossacks and Russians reeling from the saber stroke, shattered and sundered.
In the frosty nights of winter showed the broad white road in heaven. Crowded with the ghosts of shadows, at the door of summer evening sat the little Hiawatha.
Forward, the Light Brigade! Was there a man dismayed? Not though the soldier knew someone had blundered. Theirs not to make reply, theirs not to reason why, theirs but to do or die.
Light through yonder window breaks. It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon. We're already pale and sick with grief.
Open up, Twiddle. It's me. Not in yet, huh?
Did you get them?
Yeah. 3 yeses and 1 don't know.
Good. That completes the list.
If he figures to make that plane, he'll have to be here soon. He told Mac he'd have the results in by tomorrow.
They're playing Preston tonight. Very important game. Some soda pop?
Now. Hi, boys. How's it going? I'm a little late, I'm sorry. What's it look like, Mr. Twiddle?
It's all blocked out.
Oh, never mind about the brackets. Just give me the basic figures.
It'll take 1 second. Who won?
Who won? Don't be comical. 46-12. We slaughtered them.
Oh, my, that's peachy.
It would also be peachy if you'd get that thing finished.
Yeah, come on, Mr. Twiddle. Stop stalling there.
Stalling? My goodness, I said 1 second. I only hope these figures will be close to stringers.
Don't worry about that. All you have to do is...
I know. But the decimal points in their proper places. There, I've done it.
Give me that. There she is, boys. Look at that. You realize what this means? This was done in 2 weeks. From now on, we can do them in 24 hours if necessary. Boy, wait till Max sees this thing. Here. All right, Ike, here you are. If you hurry, you can catch that plane tonight. And if old Max starts asking you questions, you know, about where we did it, how we did it, you just turn those baby blues of yours on. I'd like to see his face when he does.
You can accomplish that with alacrity and dispatch. Why don't you go to see him yourself?
Well, don't be silly. I can't get away. We play Waverly tomorrow.
Oh?
Got a sort of a dance after.
Oh.
You know, my handle on this team has just worked beautifully for us. I don't want to wreck that, you know. It'd look awful funny if I just disappeared all of a sudden. Here you are, you lucky stiff. And that was a beautiful job, Mr. Twiddle. Excellent.
Hey, Rip, how'd you like to kick this whole deal over?
Kick it over?
Be all right with me and with Mr. Twiddle, too.
What are you talking
right,
about?
Mr. Twiddle?
Oh, yes?
You don't have to keep going an hour account.
Save it, will you? Kick it over. Yakety, yakety, yakety. What's the matter with you? What are you talking about? I've been working all my life for this, and there it is, all wrapped up in a nice, neat package. Kick it over. What for? Kind of a lame brain do you think I am, anyway? Do you think I've been pushing up that hill all these years just to have...
Okay. Guess I was way off the beam.
I guess you certainly were. Well, I gotta go now. Ike, you tell Mac that we can take 3 or 4 jobs at one time. Maybe more than that. And call me as soon as you finish with him tomorrow night, huh? Ike, you call me. Did you ever do the samba, Mr. Quincy?
No, I can't say I did.
Oh, don't ever. I just had a 2-hour demonstration.
Know what a back-pass dilemma is, Mr. Quincy?
No.
Well, I'm going to get a demonstration of that.
Back pass dilemma. This I gotta see.
Okay, now cut over quick. I'm going to pass to you. Well, throw it. Go on, throw the ball. Don't make love to it. Oh, no, that's no way to throw a ball. It's more of a snap forward like that. No. Like suppose there's a wolf on the make for you. What do you...
You mean like this?
Yeah, like that. Let's try something else, shall we? And we'll try the layup shot. Here, you stand over here. No rough stuff now. Now, the principle of this shot is you try and stretch yourself out as far as you can and then just lay the ball up in the basket. So you just stretch yourself out and lay the ball right in there like that. Okay, you try. Get over there. And remember, you got to stretch yourself way out as far as you can. Just lay the ball right up there. Yeah? Here, I'll help you.
Look, it got stuck up there.
Back pass dilemma, huh?
bet yourself why they call me Rip?
Has something to do with Rip Van Winkle, hasn't it?
I fall asleep at the drop of an eyelid. I think I'm gonna drop an eyelid right now on that soft, lovely shoulder of yours and never leave.
Oh, no, Rip. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you should live and learn.
Sorry to cut in, but you promised, sis.
Well, certainly, darling. This is your night.
You mind, Rip?
No. You're making a mistake, Bob. She's carrying concealed weapon.
Good work, son. You certainly whipped those kids into a fighting machine. It's the first time we beat Waverly in 10 years.
Hi, Sergeant.
You must be having an awful tussle with that conscience of yours.
Don't worry about my conscience. Hey, Bob, now remember, stay far away from her.
You're going to find it difficult to drop that girl in a bracket. She won't stay there. Our school song.
All my fondest memories are the chapel bells on Christmas Eve, the wishes on a falling star, the lonely sound across the night of trains that always hurry through, the patterns on the frosted pane, the magic lands they took me to. These are not only idle dreams that time will someday dim for me. They're pages that I put away into my book of memory. The fun around the swimming hole, the gang around the campus green, the laughter of April Fool, the ghosts that walks on Halloween, the timid hand I held in mine while walking through a secret lane, the rainbow on a neighbor's lawn that sparkles after summer rain. These are not only idle dreams that time will someday dim for me. They're pages that I put away into my book of
Attention, please. Thank you. Folks, Mrs. Peterman wishes to say a few words.
The Dispatch, you know, rarely retracts a story. Well, that's obviously because the Dispatch rarely makes mistakes. Tomorrow, however, you will read the retraction of an item which appeared recently about Mr. Lawrence Smith. The Dispatch wants to erase any doubt it created as to Mr. Smith's integrity. Mary and I have seen a lot of Rip since he came here. It's only been a short time, yet already he seems an old friend. And that's a good sign. He's taken an interest in our civic affairs, and his devotion to the basketball team, well, everybody must admit he performed a miracle. Now, it took hard work at all hours, and I'm sure he must have neglected his own business to do it. We're very lucky to acquire such a fine citizen, and I thought this a good occasion to apologize to him and to tell him how we feel. Rip, we're all very happy and grateful that in your search for a permanent anchorage, you chose to throw in your lot with us and to grow with Grandview.
I wish Mrs. Peterman hadn't said all those nice things about me. I doubt whether I can live up to them. I'd prefer that you reserve judgment until you got to know me better. Much better. Thank you. People go around making speeches.
I remember once in Italy, a bunch of us got to talking. Funny place to be talking about home and Ma. The pipsqueak started. Then the other fellas got going. Turned out they were all from small towns. You were the only city slicker there. You let your guard down that night, Rip. You envy those guys. You said that yourself. You never knew what it was to have neighbors, to have a sense of belonging. What Ma said goes for all of them.
Just give me 1 year. Just 1 year.
You've made a lot of friends here. That's security, Rip. The surest kind.
No. No. Look up there. That light's in my office. And it's there because a call's coming in telling me I got the world by the tail. It may be a rat race, but I'm out in front and I'm gonna grab mine.
Hasn't come back yet? Well, I can't imagine that anything I said could have...
Ma, when Papa acted like a goon, you didn't let him go hide in a corner and lick his wounds, did you?
Of course I didn't. Oh, goodness, I promised Ben Moody I'd dance with him. Well, I hope he's in the groove. I'm not.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you, Ike? How close was it? What? I say, how close was it to the stringer pole?
Right on the nose.
No kidding. Hey, what'd old Mac say?
Said he was flabbergasted. Plain flabbergasted.
Well, this is it, Ike.
Henrik's? Yeah. Yeah, tell him we'll take that Henrik's deal. And Keeley, that sounds pretty good. Yes, sir. Came here to do a job. Anything else, just a blind alley.
Trouble with having a newspaper background, it develops an instinct for snooping. You must have found Ma's speech tonight very funny.
We had to work secretly. Nobody's been hurt by it, have they?
That's right. Nobody.
What are you going to do?
You couldn't stand any changes. Could you? By all means, hold back progress. Mr. Smith has to make an extra $1 for himself. I certainly think that's stooping very low.
I want to make a deal with you. You kill that story you're writing, I'll never show my face around here again. This isn't for myself, Mary. It's for the people here. I wouldn't like to see them get confused. What I was doing couldn't do them any harm, but they read that and they... I don't know, they're human. You can't go around telling people they're special, not even these people. That's deadly. If you love them, Mary, don't do it. Well, if you'd stop pounding that machine and listen to me, I don't know, I suppose you think I got some sort of an angle or something. I don't know how to convince you, Mary. You just have to take my word.
Set the story up, Mr. Dingle.
This looks hot. Send Harry down.
Cover this. Make a swell picture layout.
Right.
Oh, so that's it. What a guy.
Take the truck. We want sound.
Find out what the typical American woman wears.
We want daily sidewalk interviews.
According to Smith, it's the perfect barometer of national opinion. This unusual story was first given to the world by Mary Peterman of the Grandview Dispatch.
In 1 week's time, I wouldn't give the wart off my nose for anybody's opinion in this town.
Okay, now, you're the typical American. Act like it.
I'm afraid we've opened a keg of dynamite. I hadn't counted on arousing the whole world.
Hey, sis. Some big shot reporters to see you from out of town.
Sorry to barge in on you like this, Miss Peterman.
Well, it's quite all right.
We thought you might give us some information.
Do you mind telling us about the survey? How did you find out about it?
When Mr. Smith completed his poll, he just handed me the story.
Could you tell us anything about his plans? We can't get to see him.
He won't talk to anybody.
He left word that he was leaving for New York this afternoon and had nothing to say.
It's a lie. I don't believe it. Rip wouldn't do a thing like that. He wouldn't walk out on us now. Not with the freehold game coming up.
Must have had 50 calls already. Families want to move to Grandview. Kids. All right, Mary, we're ready.
Bob said if we talked to you, you would. Yeah, I said you wouldn't leave before the freehold game. Nothing more important than that.
You betcha.
Lived here all my life. Never knew we were so terrific. It's a landslide, a veritable landslide.
Oh, there's Rip, our great discoverer. Insurance business, huh? That was slick. Sure was slick.
Rip's gonna stay and coach us for the freehold game.
Watch this town grow. All we got to do is take advantage of the opportunity.
You will. It's in the air, all those electric currents. Come on, Paul.
Electric currents? What's he talking about? Looks like a nice clear day.
Why, we're already known from coast to coast. Look at that. People coming in on every train.
They're coming by car, too. And by bus. Even on on foot.
I don't blame them. Who wouldn't want to live in the perfect town?
I'll just have to build another hotel, that's all.
Don't you think we ought to start planning? Things are moving so fast.
Certainly, certainly. That's why we wanted you to handle all publicity. Spread the slogan, grow with Grandview. I've got a couple of ideas I'd like to take up with you.
Call from Pittsburgh, another manufacturer wants to put up a plant so it can advertise made in the typical American city.
They'll all be looking for building sites. Where are we going to find them?
Just watch real estate values go up. Just watch them.
Say, I've got a lunch date. I almost forgot.
Wait a minute, Dick. You just dropped me at the hotel.
Well, see you later.
Well, yeah, I got to get back to the Watts' office.
Call from Chicago, Mr. Mayor.
Another one. This is traveling like a prairie fire.
Leaving in 5 minutes. See the people think. Get an opinion on any subject. The typical tour of the typical town. The first class look at the runway. And the
Railroad front, that's the stuff to buy.
Cost him $20,000. I offered him $30,000.
Yes, sir, a boom has certainly hit this town with a boom. Why, the shoeshine man over there himself is making money hand over fist. He's keeping that rag red hot. And if you're looking for a place to live, he can supply that, too. Uh-oh, here's something. Grandview sells its opinions. They're putting up polling booths. Well, maybe I'm crazy.
20 of these are already spread around the city. You will each occupy one. A reference library goes with every booth. We want to make sure that folks are thinking right. Now, don't forget, take plenty of blank forms along, and when...
Wait a minute. What's this all about? Who's the idiot that dreamed this up?
I am. What's the matter with it? It was approved by the board, duly approved.
You mean you're going to conduct your own polls?
That's our chief export, isn't it? Our opinions? Well, we're through giving them away.
From now on, we're selling them.
Well, I guess I've seen everything now.
Everybody will be instructed not to give any opinions to outsiders, only to our own official poll takers. Excuse me. All right, folks, you all know your station now. Go to it, and may the best man or woman bring back the best bunch of answers.
Now let's take our microphone over here. I'd like to give you a few sidewalk interviews, just to sort of see what kind of people. Well, here is a couple. Looks as if they've just arrived. Why did you come here? Would you mind telling our radio audience?
Well, it's on account of my wife. Her sister, New York, has always kidded her about being a hick. Well, now we can say we live in Grandview. I guess that'll shut her great big mouth.
Yes, sir. I'm sure that it will, sir. And here's a very charming gentleman. Would you like to say a few...
Yeah, I'd like to say something. Give me that microphone. I'll say
The gentleman says he's too shy. Here's a very attractive little lady. I wonder if you would mind...
I'll talk on the radio. Come on, Rip. I told Stringer I'd phone as soon as I have a talk with him.
Waiter!
He says his proposition's still open.
That's in a bad seat. Ringside.
No use hanging around. You can't do this town any good. Not now.
Couple of ringside seats for a three-ring circus.
Bring on your baboon!
Take it easy, son.
Oh, yeah. Better be quiet. You know, I helped put on the show here. You did too, you know. You helped put on the show. Old Ike. Mr. Ike Sloan, great impresario, an impresario. Come on, take a bow. Come on, take a bow, huh? Come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mr. Impresario, the famous Ike. Come on, take a bow.
Cut it, Rip. Sit down. Cut it. Sit down.
Sit down. Shh. Quiet. Shh. Shh. Shh.
Waiter!
Business property. Give me business property every time.
Larry, this is terrific. Made 15,000 clear this week. We'll get those new printing presses yet.
It's all paper profit, Ben. Please be careful.
Well, don't worry about me. I wasn't born yesterday, you know.
Come on, Rip. Let's get some black coffee, then we'll phone Stringer.
All right, phone Stringer. All right, good idea.
And what do you gentlemen think? Should a husband bring his pay envelope home to his wife?
Who do you represent?
Oh, nobody. I'm just naturally nosy. Isn't all this just too divine?
That's me, just naturally nosy.
Sure, I know. Come on, son.
How do you like your town now? How do you like your fancy, beautiful circus of a town now, huh?
Took the earlier train.
All aboard. But we were not satisfied. No, sir. We've added $500,000 to the project. Yes, sir. $500,000. Pretty good for little old Grandview, huh?
I still think we're bats. Why the size of this thing? At least Mary's plan made sense.
We're moving with the tide, Jim.
Yes, sir. This is no time for Wats's. Penny pinching.
The high school, for instance. Her plan called for 40 classrooms. Not enough, we say. 150. 150 is what we'll have.
Hey, mister, the bond issue hasn't been underwritten yet, has it? What if something goes wrong?
Listen, my friend. You're one of our new citizens, aren't you? Well, you don't know us. In 1890, our grandparents built our city hall with their own hands. Yes, sir. If it comes to it, we can do the same thing. That's the kind of people we are.
Look, Mary, isn't it wonderful?
Kill it. Set up a new front page with news.
But Mary, this...
I gave instructions that none of the madness that's going on around here should be printed.
Oh, I know, darling, but the center, well, it's something you've wanted all your life. It's something Papa wanted.
Yes, I know.
Last day. Cast your opinion today. Would you vote for a woman for President of the United States? Don't get shut off now. Cast your opinion right away.
They're cockeyed. Where they don't knows. Ask people if they still beat their grandmothers, and you'll get some don't knows.
Please, Mr. Stringer. He'd rather be alone. He's thinking.
You mean sleeping? How long is this going on? He's been in a fog. He slept through most of the conference this morning. Suddenly he woke up and said, I hope they remember to use the back pass dilemma. What's the matter with that guy?
Makes a lot of noise, doesn't it?
I've been waiting to see you all day. The first Grandview poll is out. Gallup released their results. Almost opposite.
They'll be laughed out of existence.
The radio and newspapers have been at it all day.
What do they say?
Plenty. They're getting their teeth kicked in. What that boy needs is a good dose of sulfur and molasses. Grandview sulfur and molasses.
Yes, sir.
And so this little town that's always been right turned out to be ridiculously wrong. They were so completely out of tune with the country, people are beginning to wonder where Grandview is. Certainly it can't be in the United States. There should be a moral in this. No one has a right to assume they know it all. What this little town of Grandview lost was humility. And when you've lost that, my friends, you've lost everything. Poor Grandview. They're becoming the subject of ridicule throughout the country.
Bet you had to study real hard to become a moron.
Oh, no, I lived in Grandview.
Ghost town it is. The people have even locked themselves in their homes, ashamed of their ludicrous behavior. No community action is being taken, whatever. Oh, excuse me, here comes a gentleman. I beg your pardon, sir. May I have your opinion?
I have no opinion.
Gee, it's kind of deserted, isn't it?
They don't come here anymore. They won't even talk to each other anymore.
Gee, that's no good. People ought to talk to each other. How's Ma?
Oh, Ma's the same.
Senator Wilton dropped in on me the other day. Just came down from Washington. Walked out on the Foreign Affairs Committee. He said the pressure was on again. He seemed restless, kind of lost.
He used to come here.
Well, Mary, I had to come back. I had to. I couldn't work. I couldn't think. I couldn't. I love you, Mary.
The nights I lay awake, hearing you say that. The hinge on that door's been broken for years. Nobody seems to want to fix it.
I love you, Mary.
There was a story. We ran a news story the other day, the usual one. A married woman who fell in love with another man. Her husband stood in their way, so finally they killed him. They thought they were free. But their crime created a vicious wall between them. Until they destroyed each other. We murdered a town, Rip. You and I. We killed an idea my father devoted a lifetime to.
Oh, Miss Mary, I've looked every place. The telephone in your office don't answer, and your mama said go get her. It's that Mr. Birch. Your mama just hear he got a plan for Freehold to run things here. I guess that means Grandview, she is finished. It's a shame, and nobody cares. Your mama say you come right away.
All right, Helga.
Glad to see you, Mr. Smith.
Goodbye, Rip.
Been all over town, talking to everybody, trying to get them together. Old man Harkins practically slammed the door in his face.
Good morning, Rip.
Good morning, Dr. Miller.
How's it going?
Oh, fine, fine.
Well, snow or rain, boom or bust, the mail's still got to be delivered.
They need a leader, Mr. Nickleby. Well, they've always followed you. Well, get them to do something startling. Something that'll arouse the admiration of the whole country. Something that'll give them that bounce again. Bolster up their confidence. Why don't you get them to go through with that civic center? Start building the high school again.
With what? This town's broke.
With taxes, that's what. Tax yourselves at such a fantastic rate it'll be the talk of the country. The people who sacrifice everything for the sake of the community.
You're crazy.
Okay, I'm crazy, but I just figured it'd take something crazy to wake them up. Look, Senator Wilton's in town. I asked him to come. He's willing to do anything to help. Now, suppose he and I get a group together to do the initial financing. Will you go along with it? Will you take charge?
Try anything like that and I'll stop it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have my own problems to work out.
Now, look, Mr. Nickleby, I realize your own problems are very serious, but what about this town? Now, this was once a great team, and you were a very important member on it. You're walking out.
The team's through.
Anybody with an ounce of brains would know that. Now, please excuse me.
But, Mr.
Do you mind?
No, I don't mind. No. By all means, attend to your personal affairs. So long, Hank.
So long.
Mr. Birch, please.
Ben's signing the contract this afternoon. Tomorrow, Mary and I'll be out of jobs.
Have a muffin before you drown yourself in your own tears. Go on, have one. It's my own recipe.
I know. I think I'll take toast.
It's Mr. Smith, ma'am.
Oh, come in, Rip.
I'm sorry I'm late, Miss Weldon.
We didn't wait for you. Sit down.
Oh, Ma, hello.
Oh, Rip. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Well, Mr. Terribly.
Missed you, too.
Oh, stop that fiddle faddle and let the boy have his lunch.
Stop that fiddle faddle.
What happened, Rip? Any luck?
Senator, did you ever find yourself swinging at windmills?
That sums up the senator's whole career. Take a muffin. I made them myself.
Oh, yes, I've heard about those muffins of yours.
Take one anyway.
Thank you.
What about the high school? Did you talk to them about that?
Yeah. I thought I was crazy.
The high school. I remember all those big statements at the dedication. We'll build it with our own hands if necessary. Huh. Inflated with their puny success.
I must admit I believed them. Splashed it all over the front page.
You would.
Mary took one look and killed the story.
Excuse me, ma'am. It's Mr. Nickleby's boy. He wants to see Mr. Smith.
Don't stand there, Sarah. Let him in.
Excuse me, Mrs. Wilton. I heard Rip was here and...
Oh, Hank, what did you want to see me?
Yeah.
Is it private, boy?
Private? No, I guess not. What I wanted to tell you, Rip, was when you were talking to my father, he wasn't playing square with you. He should have told you he was selling the Civic Center.
He's selling it?
Yes, ma'am. The council gave him a mortgage or something. Right after you left, he called up Mr. Birch. Told him he'd have to work fast if he wanted the property.
Why are you telling me this, Hank?
I don't know. I figured maybe you could... I don't know what I figured. Guess I shouldn't be doing this. Guess it's all wrong. I love my father, Rip. He's a swell guy, but... You see, it's not the high school that matters. What you said is right. Guys shouldn't be walking out on the team. I don't like to see Pop doing it. Begged him not to. Gosh, this certainly turned out to be a dopey town.
Took a lot to make that boy do that.
This town better start undoping itself, and quickly.
What are we going to do, Rip?
Hey, Ma. That front page, you know, the one with the story about the high school, the one Mary killed? Is there a copy of that around anywhere?
Well, I think so.
What time do you go to press today?
Usually about 1:30.
1:30. Senator, could I use your telephone?
There's one right there.
What are you going to do?
We're going to get Nickleby back on that team. Nickleby and everybody else. We're going to print this story in today's issue. Quote all that big talk, all those fancy statements.
Quote them? As if they were just made.
As if they were just made.
But that happened weeks ago, Rip.
Mislaid the story. Just found it. Let them sue us.
Now, that's what I call ramming it down their gullets.
Let me speak to Miss Peterman, please.
What'll all this accomplish, Rip?
Well, for one thing, it'll wake these people up. May even get them back around that stove again, talking to each other, arguing, choosing sides.
By George, this sounds wonderful, Rip.
That's just part of it.
There's more?
You bet there's more. We're going to make sure this gets national publicity. We'll give it to the wire services, the radio. We'll get these people so much flattering publicity, they'll have to do something.
They'll string us up to the nearest pole. That's what they'll do.
Okay, so they string us up to the nearest pole. That's fine. At least they'll be doing something together. Hello? Hello, Mary? Mary, has the paper gone to press yet? Oh, good. Ma and I'll be right over. Will you wait for us? Well, I want to try something that... Listen, Mary. this town isn't dead yet. We have a good chance of saving it. That is, if you're crazy enough to go along with a guy that... Huh? That's swell. That's all I wanted to know. Mary. Thank you, Mary. We'll be right over. Come on, gorgeous. We gotta get moving. Thanks for lunch.
Pray for us, Doris. Good heavens. I'm so excited I nearly ate one of my own muffins.
It's your kind of story, G.H. Here's a normal town. They pull a prize boner. They become a laughingstock. They're left broke and humiliated. All right, they should fold up, but not these wonderful people. Instead of that, they hitch up their britches, spit in their hands, and start swinging.
Thank you,
Look at this, boss.
You just sold me that property.
Here comes another bunch. It's working like a charm. We'll have the whole town around that stove. Okay, now do your stuff.
Where's Mrs. Peterman?
Where's Mary?
Mary's the one I want.
They're not in.
Playing checkers.
Down to the meeting hall.
Checkers?
Are they crazy?
They can't get away with this.
Okay, boys.
You can't get away with this.
This town can't afford
We've
a
been
fire
locked
truck,
out of
let
no
alone
without
this.
places.
Mayor is right.
We demand the story be retracted. There's a pack of lies.
I'm gonna sue for Watson's libel or something.
All right, that's what you should do, believe me.
Anybody claim they haven't been properly quoted?
But that was ages ago, under different circumstances.
What insolence. Somebody get Mr. Nickleby.
Yes, Nickleby will know how to deal with these people.
These people are cuckoo. Plain what-you-call-it.
Can't find him. Can't find Rip anyway.
Here comes Mr. Nickleby now.
I always thought you were a sensible girl, Mary. Is this your idea of a practical joke?
Well, if you're interested in practical jokes, Mr. Nickleby, read some of your own statements.
Funny. Very funny. Do you realize that all of us have a case against you? And against that fella Smith, too. He's back of this.
And these magnificent people are plunging into a project of such vision as to arouse the envy of every community planner.
Shut that off.
Think of it.
Just a
Far
moment,
from
Richard.
accepting defeat.
I want to hear that.
They're going ahead with a plan to build a civic center, even though it may mean sacrifice on the part of every man, woman, and child in the community. Before I sign off, I want to say, more power to you, Grandview. In your circumstances, it takes a heap of courage to tackle a program of such magnitude.
It certainly does.
Some of you may go crazy, but not me. No radio commentator is going to sweet-talk me into bankruptcy. If you've got any sense left, you'll all go home and forget this. We'll deal with these people in court.
It's Rip.
What's this all about, son?
We were promised a what-you-call-it, Pop, a new high school, and we won it.
Hank, I want you to come home this minute. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir. We talked it over. We decided if you quit the team, we're gonna quit too. We don't want to live in a town we have to be ashamed of.
Right now they're saying swell things about us on the radio, but if you don't go through with the high school, we'll be laughed at worse than ever.
And we don't want to live in a town that's always being razzed.
What are we going to do? Stand here and let a bunch of brats tell us how to run our affairs?
We're not trying to run your affairs, Pop. We're just trying to get you to stick by the team. You and everybody else.
Rip says you're all wonderful people, but you just lost your nerve.
Listen, folks, why not? Why can't we do it? Your fathers and grandfathers didn't quit when they were in a jam. That's when they started to fight. And what they did is part of our beautiful history. Now, what's wrong with us?
It takes money to build. Where's it coming from?
Well, let me read a statement of yours, Mr. Mayor. If necessary, we'll build it with our own 2 hands. What about that, Mr. Mayor?
Say, Mary, are you suggesting that we do that? Actually build it with our own hands, contribute our services?
Certainly. If everybody helped, Ed.
This is idiotic. We're wasting our breath. The property's been sold. The council approved it.
Approved it? First I hear it. Hey, Mike.
Say, Mom, you're on the council. Rip says you had no right to approve it.
Well, I don't know, darling.
Rip says it's got to be put up to the voters.
Of course it's got to be put up to the voters. That's city property.
What about that, Mr. Nickleby?
We were going to do that, of course. We intended to go through with the formality of a vote, of course. We just assumed that you people wouldn't care.
Wouldn't care? That's all.
Ed, this is terrible.
Rip Smith is right. We just plain lost our nerve.
Listen, everybody. I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't like the sound of any of this. It's tough to admit you've been a fool, but, well, look at us. Mr. Nickleby assumed we wouldn't care. Wouldn't care if we didn't get a chance to vote. When I get to that point, I'm going to find myself a nice, comfortable hole and crawl in. But I'm not ready for that yet, in spite of Mr. Nickleby. No, sir. Maybe whether a town lives or dies isn't important to some people, but it is to me. I feel as if my own family's breaking up. And I don't like it. And if building a high school can save it, I'm for it at any price. Personally, I'll organize every man in town that can handle a tool and guarantee a first-class plumbing job.
Good for you, Pop.
I'm with you, Ed. I'll do the same with the carpenters.
I'll look after the lighting fixtures. You can count on the boys from our shop.
I'll line up the painters. I'll close up my office and watch us. Supervise the job.
Gee, that's what you call it. Swell, Pop.
Is everybody willing to help?
I can mix mortar.
Just hand me the paintbrush and stand back.
Yeah, but this'll take years.
Suppose it does. What's the hurry?